in the 10th, 13th, 17th precincts here in Manhattan. These random attacks left 2 innocent victims dead and another one fighting for her life. I will not be releasing the victims' names at this time. We're still waiting to notify their families. We do have a suspect in custody, and we are not looking for any other perpetrators at this time. Incident number 1 occurs in the confines of the 10th precinct today at 8:22 a.m. in front of 444 West 19th Street. Our victim is a male Hispanic, 36 years old. He's standing in front of a construction site where he is employed, when without warning, he is stabbed in the abdomen. The assault appears to be unprovoked at this time. The perpetrator fled southbound on 9th Avenue. Our victim was removed to Bellevue Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 8:50 in the morning. Witnesses stated that the perpetrator was a male, light-skinned, in his 60s with a beard. He was wearing a gray shirt and a dark-colored ski hat. Witnesses described the knife as a kitchen knife. Approximately 2 hours later, incident number 2 occurs at 10:27 a.m. at 500 East 30th Street and the East River by the Old Water Club. A male, Asian, 68 years old, who was fishing at the time of the attack, was stabbed multiple times throughout the body. A 911 caller rings the bell and police respond to the location. Unfortunately, our victim is removed to Bellevue Hospital, where he's pronounced dead. 30 minutes later, after this incident, our third and final attack occurs at 10:55 a.m. at 42nd Street and 1st Avenue, right by the UN. Our third victim is described as a female black, 36 years old. She is stabbed multiple times throughout her body. She is brought to Cornell Medical Center, where she is currently in critical condition. A short time later, at 46th Street and 1st Avenue, near the Turkish mission to the UN, police at the scene are alerted by a witness that a possible perpetrator who had just committed a robbery was walking in the area. This male was taken into custody by 17 Precinct Patrol. They recovered 2 large kitchen knives that are covered in blood. His clothing is also covered in blood. This person of interest was brought back to the 10th Precinct Station House for processing. He is a male Hispanic, 51 years old. He appears to be undomiciled. He has 8 prior arrests, last being for a grand larceny, October of this year. Thank you.
All right. Obviously, we still got a lot of work to do with this, but we'll take just a couple of questions. I'll start here on the left. Joe.
Chief, do we have any information as to were words exchanged prior to these interactions with these 3 individuals?
As of right now, these attacks seem to be unprovoked, that he just walked up to them and began to attack them with the knives.
Chief, is it clear, maybe reading yourself tonight, can you elaborate on the failed system? What went wrong here? Was he out on bail, on a bail-eligible case or non-bail-eligible case?
First of all, I want to acknowledge the presence of Councilman Powers and Councilman Boucher. These both impact their areas. We are still looking over his record, but there's a real question on why he was on the street. It's preliminary now, but he was sentenced a few months ago, and there's some real questions that we need to look at on why he was on the street, and he has some severe mental health issues that should have been examined, and that's what we're looking at as part of the investigation.
ABC?
Can you go into the witness? You mentioned that he saw something and what he told Officer Garvey?
Yeah, so the witness is a cab driver. He witnesses the third attack of the female. He believed it to be a robbery. He didn't know that she was stabbed. So he began to follow her, thinking that he was a robbery suspect.
The cab driver?
The cab driver, yes.
And the purple backpack that said 46th and 1st, is that the victim's backpack? Is that why?
That's part of our investigation.
10-10?
Can you talk about when Officer Garvey stepped in?
What was the question again?
Just when you started noticing something unusual and stepped in.
I just heard a commotion from where I was, stepped outside, heard what people were saying, and reacted.
What were people saying?
No comment on that.
Chief, were there any robbery attempts on any of the victims at all?
No, like I said, we're sorting through additional witness statements and video, but at this time, no words exchanged, no property taken, just attacked and stabbed viciously.
Mark.
Officer Garvey, walk us through what happened.
No, let the chief walk you through.
What he did. Once he was alerted that this perpetrator was possibly involved in a crime, thinking that maybe it was a robbery, he detained him. And obviously at this point, information's coming over the radio. The detective squad gets involved. We start putting the pieces together to realize it's part of the three attacks that had taken place that morning.
Dean?
Did the suspect
Yeah, hold on. And I think that we cannot overemphasize. Here, this officer made an apprehension of a person that took the life of two individuals, and he didn't know what he had. He responded. And we cannot overemphasize how much when these officers come to the scene of a crime or someone tells them that someone carried out a violent act, these officers respond to that act. And, it just goes to show you after 19 years of service, there's still a commitment to ensure that the people of this city are safe. And when you don't know what you are responding to, you have an individual who had those weapons, and this officer put himself in harm's way to make sure he could stop others from being harmed. If Officer Garvey was not there, these random acts of violence, this person conceivably would have continued those random acts of violence. So he saved the lives of fellow New Yorkers.
Two more. Dean?
Did the suspect say anything in regards to any statements when he was arrested? Do you have any idea what his motivations might have been?
Not at this time.
James?
Thank you. The last stabbing was Riley when there was a line of diplomatic vehicles, maybe a motorcade. Can you talk any more about the Secret Service's involvement in this situation?
I can't speak for another agency. I can just speak to what the NYPD did in this case. I know there were other people out on the scene that assisted, but at this time I can't speak to what the Secret Service may have done.
Are any of the victims dignitaries at this time? Do we know that?
They are not.
All right, last question.
The last two places where the attacks happened were pretty close, and you have evidence that he walked. Do we know how he got from 19th Street over? And also, was he just walking the knives out, or did he conceal them and pull it out?
From the video that we see as of right now, we have video of him with the knives out. But as at this point, our investigation is preliminary. It appears that he was traveling by foot.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Thank you.